Communication Arts Center in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. This is UWSP News Team.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Spencer.
And I'm Julia Flaherty. On tonight's newscast, it's trivia time again. What do you need to know?
Do you agree with the future tobacco ban? We dig deeper into the discussion.
And how will the new Health and Wellness Center affect students on campus?
But first, it's time again for the annual trivia contest put on by the university's own radio station.
This year, the university's student radio station, UWSP 90 FM, is celebrating its 45th annual trivia contest. Their theme is Trivia 45, Trivia on 45, paying homage to the 45 RPM records popularized in the 1960s. Station manager Dan Waterman said trivia is a great way to allow interested listeners to get involved with the station.
There's between 250, 300 teams that participate, and people on each team, it can range from a team of like 4 people playing at a house to a dedicated team with friends and family with 30, 40 people. So at the end of the contest, when the winning teams come in, it's usually those bigger teams, just because the more manpower you have, the more time you can put into researching these questions and stuff, and it's just, the more minds the better.
For the last 45 years now, trivia contestants have been lining up on this walkway, starting at the CAC, down towards the DUC. Mayor Halverson has even issued a special ordinance that allows cars to park on Reserve Street.
Waterman said the theme of each year's trivia contest is a product of Jim Olivo's creative mind. Jim has been working with this station for over 30 years, organizing the trivia contest on a volunteer basis. Olivo said he was thinking about Hits on 45 when the idea struck him, Trivia on 45. Promotions director Cameron Morris has been working hard for the last few months trying to promote this year's contest. Morris has been promoting the event through social media, posters, and handouts.
It's going pretty well. I mean, you don't really know until the contest starts, but I think it's been going all right, yeah. A lot of it promotes itself, of course, because we work so hard to grow, especially this year. We've worked really hard to try to increase the amount of students on campus that play.
Waterman said the event is a great contribution to the Stevens Point College campus and community.
It's a yearly thing. It's a good way for family and friends that went to Stevens Point. It's a way for them to come together and kind of share a weekend together, but still have a common goal.
Students and community members interested in competing this year can sign up in the 90 FM office in room 105 of the CAC beginning April 7th. The cost is $30 per team and $15 for students living in the residence halls. Trivia will take place from April 11th through the 13th. This is Alec Reefy with UWSP News Team, reporting.
90 FM's annual trivia contest is known as the world's largest trivia contest. Last year, SGA proposed a referendum that would ban tobacco from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point campus. The referendum was passed, and during this academic year, a university implementation committee is working toward that goal.
In March of 2013, University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point students and faculty voted to pass a referendum that banned tobacco products from campus. After the referendum was approved by Chancellor Bernie Patterson, a university implementation committee of about 14 members, half faculty and half students, was created. The implementation committee is working this academic year to fully implement the ban this August. Anna Haug, Student Health Advisory Committee Chair and a student representative of the implementation committee, said the referendum offered 4 options.
To do tobacco-free was their first option, smoke-free, designated smoking areas, and then keep it the same. The Faculty Senate also did the exact same thing, and they got the exact same results in order, and so then it was sent to the Chancellor to say, hey Chancellor, faculty and students say this is something they want on campus.
Haug said the tobacco products that fall under the ban include cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and e-hookah, as well as chewing tobacco.
So if it has nicotine, it's a tobacco product. The only the line that's drawn is if it's a tobacco, it's a cessation product, so like nicotine gum, that doesn't count. So it has nicotine in it, but it's a cessation product, and so that would not be under the regulation. We also, our campus has a history of health and wellness. We have one of the top health promotion programs in the US, so we should be living that out also on our campus in general.
Although the tobacco ban supports the health and wellness culture of UW-Stevens Point, as Anna said, the students we talked to seemed divided on the topic.
Personally, I pro the tobacco ban because smoking isn't good for everyone, and if you were to ban it, it'd be a good healthy choice of quitting and doing other alternatives to relieve stress or any other method.
I don't think it's completely necessary as long as we have the things where they can't smoke right outside the buildings.
In other ways, yeah, I consider it as a privilege because some places you have to take in mind of where you smoke due to people who have health issues, things like that.
I wasn't even aware of it. A friend of mine just said, I was smoking with a friend of mine yesterday. He's like, you know, we'll probably have to stop smoking on campus soon. I was like, why is that? And he's like, oh, there's this ban. I was like, oh, all right. So I actually wasn't aware of it until yesterday.
Protective Services, located in the George Stein building, may issue fines for those students found using tobacco products on campus next year. Director of Protective Services, Bill Rowe, is not available to comment on Protective Services' role in enforcing the tobacco ban, though Hogg said enforcement would be relatively passive. This is Jade Arnold with UWSP News Team.
Hogg said the plan to ban tobacco has been a conversation for 12 years, and this ban is a result of those efforts.
After this short break, we will jump into the preparation of the Women's Final Four, hosted right here in Stevens Point. Then we'll cover the recently approved plans for a building on campus that will increase segregated fees, but move the campus into a new bracket of health and wellness.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
While the UWSP women's basketball team has been eliminated from the playoffs, Stevens Point isn't finished with this season. UW Stevens Point hosted this year's Final Four of the Women's Division III basketball season. The athletic department has been preparing for the event since they learned of the selection in October of 2012. 449 institutions compete with the division. The final brings out the best teams in the nation to compete for the championship. Although the UWSP women's basketball team didn't qualify, the Final Four tournament brought many fans into Stevens Point.
Administration, our food, our restaurants, our lodging, our hotels, all of that's going to be a bump for this community.
The UWSP women's basketball team won the Final Four during the 2002 season under the leadership of Coach Egner.
Regarding the victories of Stevens Point athletics, recent elections will bring some big changes to the UWSP campus in the future. I went and found out more on the subject.
In a few years, this piece of land will look radically different.
Students at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point voted mid-March in favor of the health and wellness building that is to be built where the current intramural fields are on the northeast side of campus.
David Boardman, Vice President of the Student Government Association, sat down with our news team to share some insight about the online elections.
We had about 1,523 people turn out, which represents about 16% of the population. So we were very excited with the turnout. We got a lot of people to come out. The students were having a great dialogue about it on campus, and I heard a lot of great things about it. I heard some people had some concerns, and ultimately that's why we had the referendum, so people could make the final decisions.
60% of voters were in favor of raising student fees in order to fund construction of a new health and wellness center, which will later replace Dalzell Hall. Anna Hogg, Health Services Student Director at the Student Government Association, explained what the referendum will mean for the financial futures of UWSP students.
And it's going to start out next school year, so 2014-2015. It'll be $50 for the entire school year. Then after that, it'll go up and be $125 total for the year for school year of 2015 to 2016. Then 2016 to 2017 will be the $275. And then from there, we'll do a $275 so on for the bond that we're going to be taking out.
Aside from speaking about how the referendum will affect students' financial futures, Boardman and Hogg explained how the project will benefit them.
The plans are to increase the total outdoor space along with the indoor space. We can't forget about the building. The health and wellness facility, the building specifically, is going to add a forecourt gym that will be big enough that ultimate frisbee can play in it and other sports, and that's going to be open too. So we're going to be providing more indoor space and outdoor space so students are able to go ahead and be active, whether in intramurals, whether in university sports, whether in athletics, or whether in just open rec and being able to enjoy it with their friends.
This is another amazing opportunity for students because we really wanted to look at all the wellness needs that a student has and how can we kind of make a one-stop shop. So now if you really have anything, whether you want to go work out, if you need to go see counseling, or you need to go see health services all at one time, you can go to one place and it's all right there for you.
For UWSP News Team, I'm Julia Flaherty.
After the break, we will be speaking with David Boardman, Vice President of the Student Government Association, to bring you more details on how the new Health and Wellness Center affects students on campus and the changes to come.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that laughter makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Here to speak more on the health and wellness referendum is David Boardman. Welcome, David. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and see us.
Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
All right, we do have some questions for you about this referendum coming up, or that has been passed actually. What do you think, or why do you think this year was the right time to propose this referendum for the health and wellness facilities?
Yeah, there is really about two reasons why we felt like this was the right time. The first reason was a process thing. In order to be able to get the referendum through, we had to follow the state biannual budget process, which is going to be starting up very soon. The second reason why is because of some of the studies that we had done. The studies that we had done showed that we currently are not meeting demand for the services that students are receiving here on campus. So we realized as a student government that we had to take action to be able to meet these demands.
All right, and are these new facilities part of Chancellor Bernie Patterson's goal of growing UWSP's student population?
Actually, no. They were initiated by students and it was not supposed to be a part of the plan, but I'm very confident that it will contribute to that goal. I mean, having a building like this is going to definitely increase our retention and increase our competitiveness to bring in new students to campus, so I'm sure it'll contribute, but that was not the underlying reason.
All right. Well, by the fall of 2016, students will be paying $275 per year in segregated fees for a 30-year bond.
Yep.
How was this payment plan decided upon?
Yeah, it started out first with, in the beginning of the project, we set up what our goals were. They're called their project drivers, and that was what services we wanted to be able to have available. And once you start to set up those goals and those parameters, if you will, you start to figure out what cost it's going to take to be able to meet those goals. So that's how we came to that cost.
All right. Do you feel that the benefits outweigh the cost for a student for their segregated fee each semester?
Definitely, and I wouldn't have submitted a plan to the students for a vote if I didn't feel like it was going to be something that benefited them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with the addition of an NCAA regulation outdoor track, revenue should be generated by hosting meets on campus, correct?
Yes, that's very true.
All right. Well, do we know where this revenue will go?
Right now, the intent is to have it stay with athletics, since they would be doing athletic events.
Okay. And will a portion be used to alleviate the cost of construction at all?
That was discussed, but I don't think that's the route we're going to take, mainly because the revenue that you bring in on an event like that, to be quite frank, is going to be negligible when you're looking at the whole construction cost.
Was there anything else you'd like to share with us about this today?
No, I appreciate you having me come in and talk about this issue. I think that this is an important opportunity for students and something that's going to be a great addition to campus.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, appreciate it.
After the break, why Badgers basketball fans stormed Madison State Street and how a Stevens Point drug raid affected residents.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
The Wisconsin Badgers basketball team faced the University of Kentucky Wildcats in the NCAA Final Four on Saturday, April 5th. The Badgers lost 74-73 when Kentucky player Aaron Harrison sunk a three-point shot with 5.7 seconds left in the game. From the looks of the crowd in Madison, you wouldn't think the University of Wisconsin lost its Final Four game. But Badgers fans and UW students were partying in the streets anyway, even after Wisconsin fell to Kentucky in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Revelers were seen trying to burn Kentucky shirts and diving into the crowd from the tops of a bus shelter and tree branches. Police detained several people whose behavior was getting a little out of hand. The University of Kentucky went on to lose 50-54 against the University of Connecticut Huskies at the National Championship game on Monday, April 7th.
Members of the TKE fraternity are still feeling the repercussions of the recent drug raid on their fraternity house. Reporter Jade Arnold has more.
On Friday, February 28th, a SWAT team equipped with full armor and assault rifles raided the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity on Main Street right here in Stevens Point. The raid was acted upon under the pretense of a search warrant for multiple drugs. Although only 5 ounces of marijuana was found in one person's room, a TKE member is facing assault charges. We interviewed President of TKE, Matt Spears, as well as a member, Lucas Paul. Both were there when it all went down that winter morning.
Just heard some banging and yelling down the hall. Thought it was like one of the members playing a prank on another member. By the time I got out of bed, there was someone already knocking on my door, telling me to open up, but I didn't have time to like unlock it, so I just kind of waited for them to kick it down, and I was already standing there with my hands up waiting, like when the door came down.
And find M4 pointed right at my face. As soon as I opened up that door, guy just 180'd, pointed right at my face, and I'm just like, I don't know who you are, but you need to calm down with that.
The officers handcuffed everyone and moved them into the living room while the whole house was searched. They found one room with about 5 ounces of marijuana and another room with cookies that had weed in them. But with such a small find, the extremity of the officers' methods were questioned by those in the household.
For maybe my best guess is 4 ounces of marijuana, to come in with a full riot gear, kick down everybody's doors, and deliver that much emotional damage to people, as well as physical damage to some, it seemed excessive. And I know for a fact, I mean, it's hurt people. There's people who just don't feel comfortable or safe living here anymore. There's people who've seen counseling because of it. It's a bad time.
The university responded very well to the incident by sending over Sean Wilson to ensure everyone was okay.
That was very kind of him to reach out and just make sure everyone that was involved was okay.
We reached out to the Stevens Point Police Department, but they were unable to comment on the situation. This is Jade Arnold with UWSP News Team.
More information about the incident will hopefully be revealed in the coming weeks. And coming up, our news team checks out a local Point restaurant and how well Disney represents the city of Stevens Point.
Yes, I am. Give it to him hard! No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it?
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet!
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
Now we go to Lance Castor for Point Eats.
We decided to come to downtown Stevens Point to check out Polito's Pizza and their famous pizza slices. Let's go take a look. When I was up there at the counter, I saw pizzas with Philly cheesesteak, macaroni and cheese, and even French fries on them. So if you want variety, Polito's is the place to go. Now I'm not too adventurous, so I only got a pizza with sausage and pepperoni on it. I would give this place 4.5 Lance heads out of 5, and here's why. In terms of variety, you can't ask for more. There's so much variety here, it's great. It's close to campus. I mean, it only took us 10-15 minutes to walk down here, and the price is awesome. For a college student on a budget, $4.25 for a huge pizza slice and a bottle of water can't be beat. I'm Lance Castor, reporting for Point Eats.
Polito's Pizza is located on Stevens Point's downtown strip, where you can get pizza at almost any hour.
Stevens Point has been featured in a new television show.
You two are eating the dip? This is Wisconsin. You can't welcome people home without dip.
Liv and Maddie, the latest Disney outing utilizing one actress to play a set of twins, is set in Disney's version of Stevens Point. Featuring fictional Ridgewood High School instead of Spash, UWSP students and alumni may be disappointed to find little to no Pointer memorabilia on set. Most references favor the more well-known UW-Madison. There is even a distinct lack of bad weather. The show wrapped up its first season on March 16th and has been renewed for a second season of 13 episodes to air at an unannounced future date. Well, I don't know about you, Julia, but I'm really excited for the second season of Liv and Maddie.
Really?
Yes, it will be the greatest. Nothing more American than Disney and apple pie and pizza at Polito's, maybe.
Oh, that's true. I do love Polito's Pizza. What is your favorite slice?
Pineapple. Anything pineapple on pizza is great for me.
Oh, yes, it's very delicious.
Unfortunately, a walk even 10 to 15 minutes in this weather is going to be a little iffy. It's a shame they got it on such a great day.
Oh, it's true. I was sad to wake up yesterday morning and see snow on the ground. It's ridiculous. It's April.
It's more fun to see it on the side of trees instead of on the tops of them. Snowing sideways.
That is true, Andrew. That is true.
Only in Stevens Point, only in Wisconsin. I met a couple from Alaska the other day, and they were complaining about our weather. They were from Anchorage, and they were like, oh, we have snow, but you guys have wind chill, and there's a huge difference between snow and wind chill.
Really? All the way from Alaska?
All the way from Alaska.
And they're complaining about our weather.
In Wisconsin. Well,
Wow.
you see, they have the ocean, so
Right.
they get that to sort of mitigate the temperature, and we have Lake Michigan, which freezes. So
And where did you run into this couple?
at the grocery store of all places,
At which grocery store?
Festival Foods in Marshfield.
Is that your favorite store to shop at, Andrew?
It's my other job.
Oh, I see, I see. So you just go in after work?
No, I met them at work.
At work?
Yeah, they came through my line.
Oh,
and you
wonderful.
can too, at Festival Foods in Marshfield.
And with that comes the end of our newscast. For UWSP News Team, I'm Julia Flaherty.
And I'm Andrew Spencer. Good night.